Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite and see which particular tablet is the better one for you. Now, the first thing I can definitely tell you is that when we're taking a look at both these types of tablets, the Tab S10 FE is a little bit of a different type of tablet than the Tab S6 Lite. Even though they're both kind of more on the budget side, the Tab S10 FE is more on the mid-tier side, you're probably going to be getting an overall better type of experience and more of a flagship type of experience on the Galaxy Tab S10 FE. But with that being said, I still think the Galaxy Tab, S6 Lite is very interesting, the 2024 model. So let's go and see kind of how they both compare. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these types of tablets, links will be down in the description below. You can get that from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular tablets. The very first thing to keep in mind is that with the Tab S6 Lite, this one is a slightly different story than the previous one, right? So with the Tab S6 Lite, this one came out in a few different models, but this 2024 model on the front side has a 10.4-inch TFT LCD panel. So that type of panel in and of itself is honestly not too bad. Having a panel like this and having a screen like this is honestly pretty good, and it's always nice to be able to get a display like this and get a phone like this that's going to be giving you that type of experience, right? So I will tell you, probably in my personal opinion, this type of device does honestly give you like a decent type of experience. And I will tell you, albeit it's not the best type of phone in the world, it still is like a good looking device when it comes down to it. With the Tab S10 FE, this one on the front side is giving you a 10.9-inch IPS LCD panel. So this type of panel is a little bit different here as well. So this one does have a higher likelihood of giving you like a really good type of experience here as well. So this one is giving you a bigger size display, 10.9-inch, but it's also 90 Hz. So the Tab S6 Lite was not 90 Hz, it was just the standard type of 60 Hz. So the Tab S10 FE giving you that 90 Hz display, I think is actually something that's really nice. And that right there, as always, is another one of those really nice things to basically have inside of a display as well. So it's kind of up to you depending on how you'd kind of want to chalk it up. But for me personally, if I'm going to go through and pick up a display and pick up a device, that right there, it is a really nice thing to basically have there when you're going through and picking up most types of phones. Or most types of tablets even. So from that side too, that kind of covers it up there as well. They're both giving you USB Type-C ports. They're both giving you a good type of build, both aluminum back, aluminum frame. They both also basically give you like these S Pens built in. So this right there is also another one of those nice things. You're basically able to go through and get an S Pen built right inside of both these types of tablets. They're not built in, but they come with them. And I've always liked that when, tablet manufacturers give us that type of experience. I've always liked that. I've always preferred that. And definitely within a device like this, that is kind of what you're expecting, right? So that right there, I definitely do like. On the other side, I would imagine that if you're going to go through and pick up some of these types of devices, you might feel like some of them might be giving you a little bit of a different type of experience here too. It kind of just depends on which way you kind of want to look at it. So I will tell you, in my personal opinion, these types of tablets are still going to be able to give you a good type of experience. But if you are wanting the type of tablet that is going to be giving you an overall better type of experience, especially from a build quality standpoint, then without a doubt, it's definitely going to be something like a Samsung Galaxy Tab, S10 FE. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there too. Now, on top of that, I think another really important thing to keep in mind here as well is that within both these types of tablets, you're going to have to remember that the cameras on the backside are also going to be one of those types of things to keep in mind here as well. So they're both giving you a single camera setup on the backside and then another camera on the front side. So I would imagine that if you're going to go through and pick up a tablet, the first thing you're going to have to remember is that the Tab S10 FE is basically going to be able to go through and give you, the standard type of 13 megapixel wide angle camera on the back, and then a 12 megapixel, ultra wide camera on the front side. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite is giving you an 8 megapixel wide angle camera on the back, and then a 5 megapixel wide angle camera on the front. So again, it really just kind of depends on which way you kind of want to go. For me personally, I do feel like both these types of devices are still going to be able to give you a good type of experience. But if you are trying to go through and get the overall better type of experience from a majority of manufacturers, it is probably going to come down to something like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6, Lite, probably not being as good of a camera as something like the Galaxy Tab, S10 FE. The S10 FE is probably going to be giving you the overall better type of experience. And I would imagine that if, you're a manufacturer going through and getting a certain type of device, I feel like that one is probably the one that would make a lot more sense for me to recommend to majority of people. So once again, it's really up to you, but if you're trying to go through and pick up a certain type of device, the Tab S10 FE is probably the winner here for the most part. So from that side as well, that kind of covers it up there too. I think another important thing to keep in mind here as well is that between both these types of devices, you also have to remember that both of them are still going to be able to give you a decent type of experience when it comes down to software longevity. So they're both supported with software still. They're both probably going to be supported with software for a couple more years. Again, it's tough to say exactly when these phones are going to be done getting software support, but they're not really going to be anything like the Samsung Galaxy Tab, S10, the standard ones. They're not really going to hold up as long as those ones. So you have to kind of remember that. But I would imagine beyond that, you're still going to be able to go through and get a long supported device here. These things are still going to be good for a little bit of time, but again, they're not going to be as great of an option compared to some of the competition. So that right there is going to be another one of those small things to keep in mind there as well. And when it comes down to the performance, this is another one of those really important things to keep in mind here too. When you're going through and getting these types of devices, you also have to remember that the performance between them is also going to be a little different. You're going to be getting Exynos chipsets between both. The Tab S6 Lite has 4 gigs of RAM. The Tab S10 FE has 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM. That right there is also going to be a very, very big difference here. Because if you're trying to go through and get, a better type of performance here, you're definitely going to have to look at something like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite as being the type of device that is going to be giving you the Tab S10 FE is going to be the one that's going to be giving you a way better experience there. So once again, I would hate for you to go through and buy a device if it's already going to be kind of outdated with software by the time you buy it, if it's just not going to be a good type of performing phone. And with something like the Tab S10 FE, this one for the most part is probably going to be the one that is going to be a much faster, a much better performing type of device from that standpoint as well. And if you're going to go through and pick up a device, that one is definitely the one that would make a lot more sense for me to recommend to people. I would say beyond that, I think something like the Tab, S6 Lite is still a good performing tablet too, like don't get me wrong. But if I'm in the market and I'm going to go through and pick up a device, it definitely makes a lot more sense to go through and buy something that's going to be giving you a little bit better type of performance. And definitely the Tab S10 FE is going to be the one there for you. So overall, to kind of sum up the whole thing, the thing I would definitely tell you is that when it kind of comes down to it, both these types of tablets are still going to be able to give you a good type of experience, right? But the Tab S6 Lite is severely not as powerful as something as the Tab S10 FE. The Tab S6 Lite is cheaper and it's going to be kind of be able to hit that category of device a little bit better. But I will tell you from what I can kind of see for myself, the Tab S6 Lite is probably going to be the one that's just not going to be as strong or as powerful as the Tab S10 FE. If I'm in the market and I'm going to go through and pick up a device, I'm definitely going to pick up the Tab S10 FE. But even then, I'd rather prefer to buy something like a used Tab S8 or a Tab S9 in a used market. I feel like those ones might kind of be the better ones that I can kind of see for the most part. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.